Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool arcade repair video for you this evening. We are working on a Miss Pac-Man cocktail table for a gentleman. He's had this for years. We'll show the cabinet here in a little bit, but he's got a problem with it. He said he was playing it, everything was fine, and then Miss Pac-Man split in half. Glung, glung, glung. Right? So we're going to start it, and I'll show you what it's doing here. We've got the volume down a little bit. Everything plays, but there are a couple Miss Pac-Mans, and all the ghosts are just the left side of the ghost. Hard to play it backwards. And the cherry, it looks like, is just the left side of the cherry. Okay, so everything, the right side of the sprites does not show up, but the left side does, and everything else plays just fine. This is a Pac-Man board that has been modified to play Miss Pac-Man. So this is a hack from back in the day. They were supposed to have a ribbon cable over here with a separate board that makes it Miss Pac-Man. But operators figured out how you could, instead of having just 4 chips here, you could add a couple more and make it Miss Pac-Man. So it's been hacked up a little bit, but it's a very standard hack there's no problems with or anything. Actually, this is a more reliable way of making it Miss Pac-Man. So here's the title screen. It's just fine. It's just when you're playing. So we'll try to figure out what would make it do this. I wonder if... Let me check to see if it... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, let me check on a 2-player game, but this will... we got to jump it for cocktail. Let me make sure that on a 2-player game it does the exact same thing. Just to make sure it's not something that has to do with making it cocktail mode. Sometimes on some games, player 1 will do it, but player 2 won't, because when it's cocktail it uses different things to turn it upside down. That may not even be how this one works. But so let's do a 2-player just to make sure they're both like that. I think this is set on cocktail, so it'll flip. No, it's not. Alright, well, I don't have it set on cocktail, so never mind. But let's see if we can figure out why there's 2 left sides. I've got a little cheat sheet that I use in moments like this. Okay, so on the internet, there is Lawnmower Man's page. I think this is just a mirror of it. But years ago, people figured out all kinds of things that were wrong with Pac-Mans and what can go wrong with them and all this stuff. So, depending on what's going on with yours, they have all these kind of repair logs where they've showed things going bad. And we were noticing, Joe was looking the other day, whenever he was looking at this, the game plays, but it has 2 parts of the moving objects. The 283 at 2F was bad. Plays, but moving objects are 2 copies of the left half. The 157 at 4D or 4E, pin 7 was bad. Miss Pac-Man is 2 halves, blah, 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 blah. They're saying 2F. So I'm going to look around this 2F area, this 4D, and this 4E area. So it may not be that exact same pin, but it'll be something in that area. So I'm just going to use the logic probe and get the schematics and look around 4D and 4E. Okay, so I've got the manual here. There are plenty of these manuals around. It doesn't really matter if it's Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man usually, because there's just a few differences. Most of it was, there was just different character ROMs and a different daughter board. So usually if you have a problem with Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, it's something else that's common to both boards. So you can use the schematics for both usually. So if you're having character problems, which is what we are, these 2 chips are the EEPROMs for the character problems. So another way you can narrow it down is if you find on the schematics that area, which is these 2, right? These 2, notice are not populated on the board. They never used them. But this area is the character ROM area. So if you're having a problem, you got something going on here. So Lawnmower Man was telling us that he's seen that problem with 2F. And he said 4D and 4E was the exact problem about there being two left sides. He said it was this chip. So 2F, 4D, and 4E were the ones that were mentioned by Mr. Lawnmower Man. So we're going to start back over here with 2F and just see if it's got all these inputs and if it's got these outputs. And then we'll check this one while we're at it. Because if it could be this one, I guess it could probably be that one too, you know. We'll just check all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main chips, and then 3E and 2H. So we'll just go through and see if the signals are going through, blah, 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 like they should be. And see if anything's missing or anything looks like it's gone, and that should do it. That's my optimistic hope, at least, right? So what I've done is I've hooked up my logic probe to the ground and the 5. And so now whenever I touch the ground, I get a low. If I touch the high, I get a high. And if I touch something that's pulsing, it's going low and high because it's sending a signal. So I'm seeing some kind of waveform there. So we're just going to go through and look at all these. Now, the hard part is figuring out which should be low, which should be high, and which should be pulsing. So that's a little tricky. So once I find something that's a little wrong, we'll look at it in depth and see if we can figure out or decide if that's what it should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Okay, so I think I found something. Now, you may have noticed a second ago, I was trying to put it in cocktail mode. Remember I was mentioning that? Now, the way you do it on this little adapter is you put the jumper over on the left side. So remember I said, I think it's in cocktail mode. So when it's in an upright machine, it has... when it's in a cocktail machine, there is an extra wire in the harness that grounds something that makes this board know that it's in a cocktail machine, right? So depending on how you put that jumper, it adds that ground to make this board think that it's in a cocktail machine. So when I did that, the second player didn't flip over. You saw that, right? Well, I thought, it's just a problem with the adapter. That's not that important anyway, blah, blah, blah. So what I was trying to do was put it in cocktail mode so I could see that when the image flipped over, if it was still screwed up, right? So keep that in mind, that didn't work. Okay, so Lawnmower Man was saying that he saw 2 left halves whenever this chip was messed up. Okay, well, I checked that. This chip's fine. So by fine, I mean everything that's pulsing as an input is pulsing as an output all the way through. Everything's cool. This one was also mentioned. It's also fine. Everything's pulsing. Everything's doing its thing. This one, also pulsing. Everything's doing fine, right? Now, Lawnmower Man said 4D, and then he said 4E in parentheses for whatever reason. So this chip, if you notice, a couple of the lines go down to here. And then look, there's this little line that says flip. Right? So the flip line has something to do with the cocktail mode, flipping the screen upside down. So this has 2 outputs and then 2 other outputs. I don't really know how it works. I could go look up the 157. It doesn't matter really right now, but so I'm looking around. I've checked this chip, this chip, this chip, this chip. So I checked this chip. This one has a bunch of dead outputs, like they're just low or high. They're not pulsing, which it may be supposed to be like that. So I checked this one. It's a 74 LS174. The input, see it says 6D and then 6Q. Pulse, 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 high. So that's pulsing. All these are pulsing. And all these are pulsing except that one is stuck high. Okay? So it's 1H, the input's 3, the output's 2. 1H. Input's pulsing. Output's high. So is it supposed to be like that? Well, one way you can check is there's other ones. So see, 4 is input, 5 is the output. So same exact chip. 4 is the input. 5 is the output. So they're all doing that except for that one. So pin 2 on this chip is stuck high. So that's probably that chip is probably bad. So if that one is stuck high and is causing problems with this, which feeds this, which is some of the outputs were wrong or seemed wrong. So I'm thinking this is looking real ugly. Now you might get in a situation where that's stuck high because this chip is messed up. So it could be that this is stuck high, right? But typically it's the output that's stuck. It's not the input, usually. But it could be either one. But I'm going to wing it and swap this chip. I got some of those. And it won't be no thing. So I'll put a socket in it and we'll put a new chip in. Alright, so here's how they did the little hack to make it play Miss Pac-Man instead of regular Pac-Man. There's a few jumper wires involved and a few cut traces. But like I said, that's a very common hack. And you know where you can find out how to do that hack? Lawnmower Man's page. Go check that out. Alright, I've taken out our chip and it came out very clean. Look at that. It's a clean machine, people. So I'm going to put a socket in and put a new chip in. Alright folks, so we got a new chip in, a new socket in, everything is copacetic, but we don't know if it works yet. So let's try it out. It sure looks good though. Alright, so that screen wasn't the problem though. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Trying to look at the camera to make sure it's recording and the screen and the joystick is twisted. The screen's different from the joystick. It's very hard to do this, people. You know, normally I'm a fantastic Pac-Man player. Just in case you don't know, I'm kidding. I'm not all that great, but oh yeah. So I think we're good. But we need to put it back in the cabinet. So, did Lawnmower Man tell us the exact chip that was wrong? No. He was the one he was talking about was a different one. But it gave you the general area, you know. So it's a little hint. Now some people are so good at this they don't need a hint. They can just look at the schematics. I've seen people that have worked on so many of these that can just say, oh yeah, I know what that is, blah, 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 blah. And they've seen it before. But some people, literally, you can give them a game that they have no idea about it. They can look at the schematics and figure out, oh, this must be doing this must be doing this, the problem must be in that area. And they're just that good at it. I'm not one of those people. So any little hint helps me. Right? So the hint putting me in this area helped me find it. And you see, I just tracked down. I wrote down some other stuff that I was looking at and checking out. I worked through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 chips. And then I finally found that one. And every time I looked at it, it just didn't seem right. And that was the one. So, very cool. All right, so we're going to put it back in the game. And I'll show you the cabinet a little bit. And we might even play it a little bit. What do you think about that? All right, so as luck would have it, our buddy Trevor is up here. Trevor is a Pac-Man fool. Man, is he a Pac-Man maniac. So he's going to test this sucker. So this is a cocktail Pac-Man. The guy just wanted us to fix the board. The monitor is still working. Everything's cool. We need to test out the joysticks and stuff. Trevor, are you going to be able to test out the joysticks?
Absolutely.
Okay. Trevor says he'll be able to test out the joysticks. So we have fixed the board. Joe is going to put the board back in it. Oh, you know why the joysticks, the control panel wasn't working? It's because it's unplugged. That would explain it. All right, so Joe's going to slide the board back in it. Show him how it slides back in, Joe. And then we're going to move it out of the window here to where we can get some a better setup where it looks a little better. And we'll film Trevor playing it. Let Trevor put it through its motions. Are you going to do a Billy Mitchell speed, like world record?
I wish I could.
Okay. See if you mention him. you get all kinds of people saying negative things in the comments. So.
Start a war.
So I always do that on every Pac-Man video just to get people excited. All right, so we're going to button it back up, and we'll go put it up front somewhere where we can play it without the sun on it. All right, Trevor is going to attempt it. This is he wants you to know that this is serial number 18,972. He's collecting all the Pac-Man serial numbers, so he's gonna give it a shot. All right, Trevor, go for it. Now he wanted me to give the standard disclaimer. He's never played with the fast speed chip.
That's correct.
He only plays the regular speed. He says that the fast speed is for wimps.
And I don't know the pattern.
And he doesn't know the pattern. So this is a learning experience for him. And we never said he was really good at Pac-Man. All we said was that he's a Pac-Man nut. He likes Pac-Man. And this isn't Pac-Man. I'm trying to give him all of the I'm trying to give you all of the benefit of the doubt I can get you, Trevor.
There you go. Thank you.
So, Trevor, does it look like that the board works?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So he's confirmed that the board does work. That's what I was going for. I was trying to fix it earlier. You didn't see what it was doing earlier, did you?
No.
There were two of everything. It was like the left side of everything was on there twice. Whenever people talk to you, does it screw you up while you're playing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Y'all had it out when I got here, so I didn't see what it was doing before.
All right. Well, first board defeated. You're going to wait for him, huh? You're trying to draw him in, aren't you? It's so fast, man. It's too much power for him.
That's correct.
We'll play a couple games, Trevor,
right.
and see if you get better, if you want to. Now, if you don't want to.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Okay, the high score is 152,000. You think you're going to be able to... Well, that was probably you. Well, that had to be you. Has it got a high score save in it?
No, that's the one I put up a few minutes ago. Horse.
Oh, okay. No, it's 15,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
I'm not even that good, man.
Well, there you go. That was a 4 ghost muncher there. Oh, another 4 ghost muncher. He said, screw the cheese, let me out of the trap. They meet. Or is this the chase? What did it say? They meet. Uh-oh, they're starting to blink pretty quick there, Trevor.
Yeah. It's not lasting long.
He's doing another screw the cheese, let me out of the trap. Oh, that ain't bad. You're doing better than me.
Got me.
Oh, man. All right, so you got an even 24,000. That's probably hard to do.
Yeah.
All right, you want to try it again? Huh?
I did that on
purpose. Oh, you did it on purpose. Oh, okay, that's high level stuff.
24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do on purpose this time before you start?
I'll tell you when I get it.
Okay, all right. We're going to try it one more time. We're just testing it out, folks. We're not experts here. Trevor is the best among us. So if you may have seen Trevor in some of our previous videos. Trevor is the guy that owns the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game that's got Turtles in Time is on it as well, where it plays both of them. And then he had the Turtles pinball machine that we worked on for him. And he had the Back to the Future pinball machine that we filmed a video of, worked on for him. And then... Oh, yeah. He had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pizza Drop Redemption Ticket arcade game, which is pretty freaking rare. And he also has a A-Team He has the 18 van.
Non-arcade related.
Not arcade related, but similarly cool. But we don't have a video of that yet. One of these days, though, we'll film a video of his 18 van. You're getting a little better, I think. I think you're getting a little better at it, Trevor.
Yeah.
You're starting to get the hang of that speed chip. It's coming on.
Yep.
Your mojo's rising.
I'll go ahead and call it. I'm going to pass 24,000.
Okay. All right. He's calling it. He said a little prayer. Uh-oh. I saw that coming.
Yeah, I was.
I thought they were going to get you. I thought you were going to go for it and get stung.
Go ahead and hit that last dot.
I think so. Nothing you can do anyway.
Nope.
Starting to get pretty quick. That back guy
passed the 24 though.
Uh-huh. Yep. We're at 24,530. And he has 3 little Miss Pac women left. Very cool, very cool. Somebody's outside yelling at us. Oh man, they robbed you. You had that one.
Yeah.
They took it from you. I think you could have got him. If you would have turned straight up, I think you might have got him. Yeah!
Wait to see if it gave it to you.
It was close. It was touch and go there for a second.
Yes, sir.
You must have been 1 pixel ahead. I saw somebody did like all the math on that. They figured all that out, like how that works, like, you know, what part of you has to be on top of the ghost. And I think it's different depending on certain places and stuff. All right, we are at 31,000 already.
That was a quick blink.
Yep, tough lesson to learn.
On the slow version, it goes back and takes longer.
Tough lesson to learn there.
Yep.
Oh. Wah. Well, you did pretty good, Trevor.
I did get more than 24. So.
Yep, you're up to 33,770. That's pretty good. That's better than I think I would have done. Do you have any famous last words you want to say to our viewing friends?
No, it plays good.
Plays good. All right. So it gets the Trevor stamp of approval.
Yes, indeed.
So I hope you enjoyed our video on repairing a Pac-Man or a Miss Pac-Man PCB. I think we're happy with how it turned out. So leave your comments below. Give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. And down below we will put a link to Amazon. Have you seen this yet, Trevor? Below all our videos we put a link to Amazon. And if you go click that link, anything you buy on Amazon after you click the link is regular price, but we get a tip. They give us a royalty of Amazon's money. It doesn't even, It doesn't even cost the buyer more money. Can you believe that?
That's great. I'm going to have to do that.
Gee, Ron, that sounds fantastic. So everybody go click the link and bookmark it because it's pretty cool. We appreciate all that. A bunch of people have been doing it. It's very cool. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. And come by and see us sometime if you can. We're in downtown Rock Hill, which is about 15 miles south of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You can also check out our website. We're at lionsarcade.com. So we'll see you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed it.